I have to get a sound level. So the the new way they have going live is so fast that it used to be you could pause it for a second, but now when you go live, it just goes one, two, three, and you're on. So let me see how I'm using the older phone because it's got a nicer texture to it and all that other stuff. They have a 40-second delay on my channel, you know, as if I'm going to give out secrets or something, and they want to be able to cut the stream. So hang in there with me. All right. So what's up, Sharon? Uh, so all right. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Okay. Just a mail call. I had a delicious cup of McCafe coffee, courtesy of Sharon. So this is just a mail call. These came from 420 Latina, and they're promesas de Dios, promises of God in Spanish. I gave one to Maria, the housekeeper, the other day, and her countenance is different because all of these people, with people getting kicked out of the country, it's like there's no laughing, there's no joy, there's tension, you know, and these are people that we love. These are people that we love and are hardworking. And like I said, it's difficult. It's difficult. So I wanted to show you this. When you get me the candy, Abdallah. Okay, Abdallah has your own channel. That's good. That's great. When you get me the candy, I make these gift bags up. I'm not reading all of that. I'm not reading. When you send me a whole book, I'm not reading that. And Sharon, you know what to do. You know what to do when people clog the comments up like that. So they're making it all about them and everything. It's a shame about the knuckleheads that instantly. Sharon, this ramen lover needs to go. This ramen lover needs to be taught some courtesy. Thank you, Lisa. So when you send me the candy and stuff, I make these gift bags up. They cost me $6 a piece to make up. They have the good news in Spanish. They have the good news in English, okay? Time is short. Time is short. It's all about getting the good news out to people. What's up, Tommy? What's up, Tommy? So they get M&Ms, yum. They get M&Ms. They get ring pops. These are great. They get ring pops. Hand cream, because winter. Snickers, Milky Way, Snickers peanut butter, and Pringles. Pringles for a real snack. In my neck of the woods, there are people that only eat one time a day. They eat in the breakfast room of the hotel, and they stuff themselves on cereal and coffee and toast, and then that's it for the rest of the day. That's it for the rest of the day. And then at nighttime they make the mistake of spending $20 for pizza. So what I do is every month I buy a couple of those slow cooker crock pots. Justin Johnson got me, funded a couple. I give them to people with rice, beans, soup, a big block of butter, and that way they understand they can feed themselves for half a week on that $20. Then Meals on Wheels of Central Maryland comes by, and they do a wellness check on me to see if I'm still alive, because I'm dealing strongly with end of life issues. One of them being constant fatigue syndrome, to where now I sleep for 45 minutes, set an alarm, get up and wash the dishes, go back to bed for 45 minutes, set an alarm, take my medicine, go back to bed, get up, exercise, go back to bed. And I'm taking vitamins and all. It's just that it's just like a car. It only has so many years to it, you know. So this is what the men get with the gift bags. It only cost me $2.50 to give them a nice bottle of. See, all this stuff I don't keep that you all send me. I don't keep it. I pass it along. So you all sent me a wonderful bag of candy to put in the gift bags. Now, the cookies are wonderful. The cookies that you sent me, because I can have them with a cup of coffee when I don't feel well enough. When I don't feel well enough to fix myself something. So you sent me bed pads. Thank you for the bed pads. So these are oh gosh. Oh goodness. Amazon has not included the gift card in with it. So Amazon has not included the gift card. You sent me diapers. So that's weird. A gift card with no name on it. So the devil's been fighting me on everything. You sent me diapers, which unfortunately are a necessity. The devil has just been fighting me on the little. Charles Wilkie, thank you, Charles. Charles Wilkie sent me this box of, and now it's got 3 cards with his name. I was looking all over for the cards. I hate getting something and not acknowledging the person. So Sharon sent me peanut butter jelly, McCafe coffee. Micah sent me spider traps for this spider bite. Laura sent me diapers. Charles Wilkie sent me diapers, candy, ring pops for the gift bags. Another package of McCafe. And this is really nice coffee. Better than Starbucks for the price. And I used to insist on Maxwell House, but I have a suspicion now. I don't want to get sued by Maxwell House. I think they're grinding the outside of the bean in along with the rest of the coffee, because it takes a big scoop of Maxwell House to make any kind of decent cup of coffee. It smells different. The texture's different. And like I said, I think they're grinding in the trash part of the bean along with the coffee bean to stretch it. That's just my inkling about Maxwell House. So I've backed off of buying Maxwell House, and the McCafe is very nice. I don't like coffees that have chicory. So, uh, and then Charles got me a big bag of Reese's for the gift bags. So that'll take me to the next, to the end of the month on the gift bags. And yeah, that'll take me all the way to the end of the month. And God bless Charles, he got me Vagisil. Now, I know you're wondering, what is Pop Pop doing with Vagisil? Pop Pop, uh, Pop Pop is a bearded lady. I've admitted to it many times on my channel. I'm a bearded lady, just like a circus. I do not have any external parts. Okay, my parents were way too old to have a healthy baby when I was born, and if an issue had been made of it, I would have been put in an asylum, in an institution, and put in a room and locked behind a door and left for my whole life. But in any case, it's something that I hid, and it was very difficult. It was a shock because it wasn't discussed with me. And when I went to junior high school, and all of the boys, I don't say boys including me because I'm not a boy, but when all the boys stripped down to shower, I was like, OMG, I'm different. And believe me, I got teased. Children can be cruel. They were like, didn't you forget your equipment? Didn't you forget something? Didn't you forget to grow something? And it's just the fact that, see, every fetus in the every fetus starts out as female, and the more children you have, the more it goes down the line, the chance of a failure, and the body not coalescing with everything. So all of my parts are in my abdomen. They're not external. And about once a month they fight, and it's very painful because the body tries to knit everything together and then it tears apart. And when everything tears, it's very painful. So I'm just keeping it real. My channel is adult. It's about keeping it real. It made for a very lonely life of not being able to be a woman to a man, not being able to be a man to a woman. And so what I did when I finished junior high school, we were supposed to go to the rich people's high school, and all the kids had Cadillacs and Lincoln Continentals. I had a 62 Ford Falcon convertible. So I told my parents, I said, I'm not going to the rich kids school. I'm going to the hippie school. They're like, are you sure? I said, yes. So our street, thank God, was right on the line. So my parents applied for an exception for me. I went to the hippie school, and I told them that I was really interested in science and all, and they allowed me to skip the gym class and to take an extra science. I took biology, chemistry, mathematics, all of the egghead stuff, and I did well at it. I had to. So, I mean, God has looked out after me, because when I became eligible for the draft, President Carter did away with the draft. So I didn't have to go down to the draft board and say, look, I don't have, you're looking for a few good men and I'm not it. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's very foolish to type hate speech in to the internet. That's very foolish. So I'm going to report that. You should have reported it, Sharon. When it's hate speech, you report it first, then you delete it. Okay. That's not something that the person just, that's hate speech. So that person doesn't realize that the internet is forever and that stuff can be recalled. So they might want to get a very important job or go to a very important school or something, and then somebody will bring that up and say, "Aren't you the one that that typed the N word in? That typed the N word into the internet?" So, what a shame! What a shame that people can't be adult. And fam, all of this stuff existed back in the 50s and all. Like the Brady Bunch was a farce. The Brady Bunch was a farce. You know, um, but I'm gonna look up this Joker just to see what they're about. That's what I'm doing. They're stupid enough. They're stupid enough to. Thank you, Sharon. They're stupid enough to type in hate speech. And there's nothing cute about using the C word or the N word. There's nothing cute about that. It's not that you're joking and all. So what a shame that I gotta stop. That's why I don't like so much to do live streams. I want to make sure I thank everybody, you know. But so well, the person did a good job. They did a good job embedding themselves. So they did a good job embedding themselves. I wish, Sharon, you'd given me just a second longer to see his his emoji so I could match it up and look the Joker up. So he got a free pass as far as my channel's concerned. But usually it's somebody that gets on the tube and they have no creativity in and of themselves, and uh they have no creativity. And Petro, you got to go too. Uh, I don't make those kind of videos, so I'm gonna go in a few minutes. Like I said, it was just a mail call. I want to give everybody credit where credit is due. Um, what a shame! What a shame! Um, people are like well, you know, Donald's back in office. Let's everybody be rude to each other and all that other stuff. Um, and he is, if you haven't noticed, he's quite different now. The reason he's not getting a whole bunch of pushback from the Democrats is they're afraid of him. Long story short, they're afraid because they have all three. They have all three parts of the government, and they're going after the people that went after them. I mean, that's what a banana republic does. And going back to Bush, Bush had like one executive order. Barack Obama had nine. Barack Obama had nine. And giving Obama credit where credit's due, Obama did save the U.S. auto industry. The Bushes were going to let it go down the tubes. Obama saved the U.S. auto industry. It wasn't pleasant, but they did save it. He and Big Mike. And so Joe, what did Joe have? Joe had almost like 30 executive orders, and they say Donald has 200. Now, you have to understand an executive order is bypassing Congress, okay? That's putting the cart before the horse. Instead of having Congress vote on something and then the president signs it, this way the president does an executive order, and then he tries to get it through Congress without them vetoing it. It's totally backwards of our system, okay? So that's the makings of a banana republic, because you get one side in there and they drag everything off to the left. You get other side in there, they drag everything off to the right. But in any case, like I said, getting back to me and the Vagisil, my parents were way too old to have a healthy baby. And so consequently, I didn't get born with all the accoutrements, although I'm hairy as a mug. This little Jewish boy and I, we had to shave from junior high on up. And the thing about it was, when I was in school, they gave you a shaving kit. They didn't talk about the birds and the bees, but they did give you a shaving kit, and they gave you cigarettes. The cigarette companies would come with these cute little 10 packs of cigarettes, and it was Lucky Strike. It was Lucky Strike, Winston, Marlboro, Newport, Cool were the cigarettes. And so when I was 16, I used to visit my aunt, and I would roll up to her house in my block long Ford, because I bought the biggest thing that I could buy to show up my parents, to show them that I was doing okay. We weren't on good terms, all right? I was estranged from my father ever since I was a toddler. And I bought this great big Ford, a four-door. I did not tell my parents that I was sleeping in it. And why I never bought a van with a bed. You know, a van with a bed would have been made so much more sense. But I always bought these great big, cars that represented, legitimacy. I fought my whole life for legitimacy. All because young people, I made one mistake when my father kicked me out because he was afraid that I would kick his behind for trying to put out a cigarette on me, or kicking me down the basement stairs. He put me out at 15. Now, I was already working. I went to work full time, $9 a day at the age of 14. I went to school. What's up? What's up, UK? Thank you. Watchwoman 65 has got a good channel from the UK. Lisa, her name's like Lisa Boyd or something like that. Very intelligent lady, great channel. But I was put out when I was 15. I was making $9 a day at the gas station. $9 a day, not an hour, $9 a day. And there was a guy across the street who picked up the garbage, and he gave me $20 a day. Now, $20 a day was big money back then. What's up, Netherlands? But young people, what I'm telling you is, you first need Jesus Christ in your life. If you don't have Jesus Christ, you're not under the covering of God. And I'm telling you, God technically doesn't have any obligation, all right? Now, God knows the beginning from the end, okay? and he will protect those that are destined for soul salvation. But other than that, he does not have an obligation to you. He doesn't have an obligation to you if you're using the rainbow, which is a holy symbol of the rainbow around God's throne. Do you realize that if you're out in public marching with that rainbow flag, you're marching blasphemy, you're parading blasphemy? I'm just telling you, look it up for yourself in the Bible. The rainbow colors are around the throne of God. It's a holy symbol. It's like the Germans using that symbol on their flag used to be a religious symbol. The devil always does that. The devil would take something that's holy and make it unholy. But in any case, I lost my place. You need Christ. The Holy Spirit will lead you, guide you, correct you. All right. He will lead you into all good things. It's very easy to know what's of God. Cigarettes, alcohol, and all of the other stuff does not satisfy. You go right from one to the next one. That's not of God. Things of God satisfy. If you're addicted to something, speak against that addiction. Say, cigarettes, I don't need you. I'm complete in Christ. Alcohol, spirit alcohol, I don't need you. I'm complete in Christ. You'll drink less and less and less, and eventually one day it'll go away. So the Lord took alcohol and cigarettes away from me in one day. One day. Now, the Apostle Paul prayed to God. He said he had a thorn in his side that troubled him. Many theologians believe that the Apostle Paul struggled with same-sex attraction, and the Lord told him, my grace is sufficient for you. So if you struggle with that, okay, it is perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay for a same-sex couple to cohabitate, but it's not of God to fornicate. So I know that's difficult and it's lonely, okay? I hate being lonely, being a hermaphrodite. Like I said, I can't be a woman to a man. I can't be a man to a woman, made for a very lonely life. But God allows that sometimes because it gives you a closer relationship. It's very difficult for people who are enjoying a wonderful life full of ease and money and health to really have that crying out to God prayer life. For those of us that depend on God more heavily, those hurts and pains can be like throwing logs on a fire for our prayers to go up to God as a sweet incense of remembrance. So, in any case, young people, the biggest mistake I ever made in my life was when my father put me out. All I had to do was walk across the driveway to my neighbor. She was a professor at University of Maryland. She loved me like a son. I could have rented her basement. Money was not an issue. I always stacked the cash so if things got crucial around my father's house, I could bounce. And believe me, many times I did. But that was the one mistake I made, was not going next door and asking my neighbor to help me. She was part of the French underground, spoke 3 languages, a very intelligent lady, a very brave lady, because if the Germans had found her out in WW2, what they did to those people was they put a thin wire around your neck. Then they had you stand up on your tippy toes, and they tied the wire to the ceiling. Now you were fine as long as you could stand there on your tippy toes. You could move around and swallow and everything. But the second you got tired and started to nod off to sleep after standing on your feet for 12 or 13 hours with this little wire around your neck, if you fell asleep, the wire would start to cut into your throat and choke you, and it would eventually partially decapitate the person and hang the person. So that's what my neighbor was up against when she helped people as part of the French underground. A very brave lady, and not given credit for that. See, young people, you don't know history because it's not taught nowadays. It's not taught nowadays because of political correctness. My generation, we were horrified when Barack went to Japan to apologize because he didn't mention the fact that the Japanese took POWs and skinned them alive, some of them, beheaded some of them, dipped some of them in cold water, set others on fire, did vivisection, which is lying a man on a table and cutting him up while he's still alive like a frog in a college chemistry class. Okay? They did all that. Okay? They did all of that. So, like I said, when Barack went over to Japan to apologize for America doing what we had to do to stop the WAR, because believe me, millions more would have perished if we hadn't gone that route, okay? And war is ugly. I understand that. It's ugly. And it's usually because of ambitious and evil men and women in high places, when all the rest of us want to do is live our lives and be left alone to have our families. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way. And unfortunately, the path that America is on, we're seen as a cancer around the world. And a lot of countries, including the Russian Orthodox Church, are talking about stomping that cancer out, if you know what I mean. The Russian Orthodox Church has told Vlad that he ought to NUK us in order to stop the spread of everything that we export around the world, pornography and gender confusion and all of that other stuff. But in any case, like I said, it's been a difficult life for me. It's been a lonely life. And I appreciate all of those of you that, spend your time with me and love on me and all that other stuff. I appreciate my moderators. We love on our knuckleheads because we're trying to bring them to Christ. So I got to go. That alarm is telling me that I'm past the point where I can put off taking the medicine. I got to take more medicine. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I pray that God will bless you all today, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Pop out.